Have you ever noticed how the more you explain yourself to certain people, the less they seem to understand you? You explain why you made a decision. You explain why you need space. You explain your goals, your boundaries, your silence, your emotions. And somehow, instead of feeling understood, you walk away feeling smaller, drained, almost guilty for simply being yourself. Carl Jung believed there's a dangerous trap hidden inside this behavior, a trap most people never notice. Because constantly explaining yourself is not always communication. Sometimes it's fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being misunderstood, fear of losing approval. And once you see it, you start realizing how much of your life has been controlled by the opinions of other people. Think about it. Why do we feel the need to justify everything? Why do we panic when someone thinks badly of us? Why does a simple, "Are you okay?" suddenly turn into a 5-minute explanation defending our entire personality? Because deep down, many people are not living from their true self. They're living from what Jung would call the persona. The persona is basically the mask you wear for the world, the version of yourself designed to be accepted, liked, and approved of. And here's the scary part. If you become too attached to that mask, you slowly lose contact with who you really are. You stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "What will make people comfortable?" That's why some people explain themselves constantly. They're trying to protect the image they created in other people's minds. But Jung believed real growth begins the moment you stop living for external approval. Now, obviously, communication matters. Healthy explanation matters. If you hurt someone, clarify yourself. If there's misunderstanding in an important relationship, talk things through. But there's a difference between communicating and seeking permission to exist. A massive difference. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone decides to quit a stable job to pursue something meaningful. Maybe they want to start a business, become an artist, or move to another country. Immediately, everyone has opinions. That's risky. Why would you do that? You're making a mistake. And what happens? The person starts over-explaining. No, you don't understand. I've saved money. I've thought about this for months. There's actually a good opportunity. Notice what's happening psychologically. Instead of standing firmly in their decision, they start defending their right to make it. And the more insecure they feel internally, the more explanation they give externally. Jung would say this happens because most people haven't fully developed a strong relationship with themselves. Their identity still depends heavily on outside validation. That's why criticism feels like danger. But mature people understand something powerful. Not everyone will understand you, and they don't need to. That sentence alone can change your life. Because once you truly accept that, you stop wasting energy trying to control how others perceive you. And honestly, that's one of the most freeing things a human being can experience. You stop over-explaining your silence. You stop apologizing for setting boundaries. You stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself. And strangely enough, people often respect you more when you stop trying so hard to convince them. There's something psychologically powerful about calm certainty. You've probably met people like this before. They don't argue endlessly. They don't defend every choice. They don't panic when misunderstood. They simply know who they are. That kind of energy changes how people respond to you, because constant explanation often signals uncertainty. Think about how people behave during arguments online. Someone leaves one comment criticizing them, and suddenly they write an entire essay defending themselves to strangers they'll never meet. Why? Because the ego desperately wants control over perception. But Jung warned that the ego can become a prison if you feed it too much. The more you need everyone to see you a certain way, the less free you become. And social media has made this even worse. Now people feel pressured to announce every decision publicly. Why they left a relationship, why they changed careers, why they disappeared for a while, why they believe what they believe. It's like modern life has turned everyone into their own public relations manager. But real confidence is quieter than that. Real confidence doesn't feel the need to constantly announce or defend itself. And this doesn't mean becoming cold or arrogant, that's not the point. The point is learning the difference between healthy communication and emotional dependence on approval. Because if you constantly need people to understand you before you can feel secure, your peace will always be in someone else's hands. That's dangerous. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Most people hear that quote and think it sounds inspiring, but becoming who you truly are comes with a price. It means disappointing some people. It means being misunderstood sometimes. It means no longer hiding behind endless explanations. But in return, you gain something far more valuable: freedom. If this video connected with you, comment below. I choose peace over approval. And if you want more psychology and self-mastery content inspired by thinkers like Carl Jung, make sure to like the video and subscribe.